Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. Today is Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. Today is day 753, where bodies still remain in Gaza. Deaths continue to happen daily in the Gaza Strip and in other parts of the occupied West Bank. Updates, many of them from today come from Just Security, which takes them from different news sources. And so a lot has happened in the last 24 hours. And since this weekend, Egypt has sent a team of experts into Gaza to help locate the bodies of the deceased Israeli hostages. At last count, there were 13 bodies still remaining. A spokesperson said that Netanyahu approved a purely technical team from Egypt, and its members were not connected to the Egyptian army. State media in Egypt reported that logistical support and earth-moving equipment had been sent into Gaza. The U.S. military is operating drones, surveillance drones, over the Gaza Strip to ensure that both Israel and Hamas adhere to the ceasefire agreement. That's according to sources over the weekend. These surveillance missions are operating to support the Civil Military Coordination Center that's been established in the south of Israel. That's where the U.S. was said that we would be sending 200 U.S. troops. We've made it clear regarding international forces that Israel will determine who is acceptable to us. That's what Netanyahu's been saying. He said that yesterday. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Friday that the international force would be made up of countries Israel is comfortable with. This could be a significantly limiting factor in having this international force move forward. Israel's military said on Saturday that the Israeli forces carried a targeted strike on a member of Islamic Jihad in central Gaza. That's according to Israeli Defense Force sources. Islamic Jihad said in a statement that the Israeli military's claim of a planned attack was mere malicious allegations. Local medics said 4 people were wounded in the drone strikes, and there were no reports of deaths in that particular incident. Witnesses separately said that Israeli tanks shelled eastern areas of Gaza City. The military did not respond to requests for comment. An Israeli drone attack yesterday killed at least one person in Abbasan al-Kabira near Khan Yunis in Gaza, according to Palestinian news sources. And Hamas said yesterday they would hand over the body of a deceased Israeli hostage to Israel. The Israeli Broadcasting Agency said the remains that were returned overnight were not those of another Israeli hostage. Forensic tests showed that the remains belonged to Ofer Tzafati, whose body was recovered by Israeli forces in late 2023, and not any of the 13 hostages that still remain. That's according to Netanyahu's office, who said that this is a clear violation by Hamas of the ceasefire, and Netanyahu will be discussing steps in response. Secretary of State Rubio said that the United States does not view Israel's strike on the Islamic Jihad in Gaza as a violation of the ceasefire. Israel, according to Rubio, has not surrendered its right to self-defense, saying they have the right if there's an imminent threat. May I just say the killing of 68,000 people, the majority of whom are civilians, is not justified in any way, shape, or form by self-defense. Sunday, UNRWA said that Israel continues to block international staff and humanitarian aid from entering into Gaza. Around 12,000 of its local staff are pushing ahead with health care, psychosocial support, and education to the people, UNRWA posted on social media. In the West Bank, Israeli forces killed 3 suspected or alleged Palestinian militants in the West Bank. According to Israeli police, Hamas said 2 of the men were members. They confirmed all 3 died in a clash with Israeli forces. Israeli authorities said soldiers shot at the militants who were planning attacks in the Jenin refugee camp and then also struck them by air. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas announced Sunday that Vice President Hussein al-Sheikh would temporarily assume leadership of the Palestinian Authority if Abbas is to step down or to die. Sheikh would hold those powers for 90 days before elections for a new Palestinian Authority leader. In Lebanon on Sunday, Israeli strikes in the south and in the east killed 3 people. The Israeli military said it targeted Hezbollah members, adding it had killed Ali Hussein al-Musawi, who played a significant role in the reestablishing and strengthening of Hezbollah. Hezbollah has not confirmed the deaths. A UN peacekeeping force in Lebanon said an Israeli drone dropped a grenade close to one of their patrols on Sunday afternoon. Lebanon's army is experiencing an explosive shortage after using up resources to blow up Hezbollah arms caches, as per the ceasefire deal with Israel. One source said the army is now sealing off sites instead of destroying them to await U.S. deliveries of explosive charges and other military equipment. 10 sources, including Lebanese officials, security sources, and Hezbollah officials, told Reuters that the army expects to complete its sweep of Hezbollah's weaponry in South Lebanon by the end of the year. A couple of U.S. updates. The White House withdrew Joel Rayburn's nomination to be Assistant Secretary of State for Near Eastern Affairs. He was nominated in February, and there was no reason given for his withdrawal. His nomination was opposed by Senator Rand Paul, who questioned Rayburn in his confirmation hearing in May over ties to James Jeffrey, Rayburn's former boss, who admitted to misleading administrative officials about the number of U.S. troops on the ground in Syria in 2020. U.S. intelligence obtained in 2022 shows that the United Arab Emirates gave technology to China to upgrade its long-range missiles fired from fighter jets. Two sources said the technology was passed to Huawei by G42. The UAE's AI group, G42, disputed the U.S. intelligence, saying it categorically rejects it as false and defamatory. Pray for our meetings here in Rome at the Vatican around Nostra Aetate for the time or in the time. Pray for religious leaders who are coming here from around the world, including but not only Jews, Christians, and Muslims. We'll be having an audience with His Holiness Pope Leo, who will speak about the role religious actors can play to benefit humanity, to advocate and pray and work together towards peace. May it be so in the name of Christ. Amen.